Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of the Astro Wanderer. So, today I'm recording this because in the next weeks I'm gonna be traveling and I'm gonna visit a friend in the Netherlands, and then my second chapter of this summer is gonna be in Belgium. So, I was like, I feel like I need to record another episode not only because I will be traveling, but also because I've had so many revelations and so many downloads and messages since I came to Paros that I kind of wanted to do a reflection on that and how I really also use astrocartography to guide me here, astrology to guide me here, and how like my experience has been having like followed that. So it will be this episode, I feel, will be a little bit of a reflection on what's moving through me right now, and also related to astrology and astrocartography, and showing you how these powerful tools are not only like woo and up there in the sky, but are actually like grounding tools and powerful tools that you can use in your day-to-day life, moving through the different choices you need to make, and for your career, for your life, for your relationship. Because at the end of the day, my goal is really to give you these tools, to empower you using these tools to connect back to yourself and create the life that you truly desire, what I used to call, and I still call it after an Italian song that I've loved, the life up to your dreams, the life that it's like that you dreamt, and that it doesn't have to wait. You can start creating it day by day, starting from today. So this will be really a channeled episode. I have no notes whatsoever. I'm just gonna go with the flow. I have my timer, so I don't give you a 2 3 hours episode on my reflections. But I will just like go with the flow and let these Gemini, Uranus in Gemini, even if it's not there yet, but I still like I already feel it a bit. And the Cancer season energy and the moon in Libra today to really help me bring out what needs to be said and to help you with this episode. So, before we get into the episode, I leave you a little like message about an event that I'm doing. So I'll jump back and talk with the episode in just a couple of minutes. Before we get into the topic of today, I have a huge announcement for you. Finally, I'm back on doing events online at the moment until I find my place to settle. But this is a beautiful event in collaboration with one of the people I admire most in the field of spirituality, and a beautiful soul that have been on the podcast before. I'm talking about Karlie. She's a Reiki and yoga practitioner, and you can find her on Instagram and Rise with Karlie. But we decided to create an event for you under the new moon in Leo. So this is really a somatic healing circle for you, to an invitation to release, reclaim, ignite your fire, and then ground yourself back to your truth. So this will happen on July 24th under the new moon in Leo. And it's really like an event that will be rooted into astrology, somatic healing, and creative connection. Leo rules the heart, so it will help you to connect to that fire, that inner spark, and then anchor back to your truth. So July 24th at 8 p.m. UK time, which is 2 p.m. Central Mountain Time in the US. and 3 p.m. Eastern, and you make the conversion because I'm not able to. The cost to join will be only $22. And if you cannot make it live, no worries, we will send you the replay. This is really beautiful circle. It's a 90 minutes journey where we will blend embodiment, astrology, creativity. We will have a somatic release to move the energy and to connect to that fire. We will have an inner child ritual to channel that fire into creative expression. We will have a Reiki infused meditation to ground yourself back to your truth. And then, of course, astrological insight about this new moon, end of the week ahead and what's going to happen after that. So if you're really ready to ignite your fire and come home to your truth, your power, it's powerful also if you're going through the Saturn return or with the Saturn and Neptune fire energy that we have right now. This is a powerful event for all of you, so join Karlie and I will leave the link in the show notes for you so you can register for the event. And if you have any question, make sure to reach out to me. You can comment on YouTube and Spotify, reach out to me at the Astro Wanderer on Instagram, and I will love to have you join in this beautiful space to really ignite your fire and anchor back together in your truth. So see you there. All right, so before leading into all the reflection, I think I need to give you a little context of like how I use astrology and astrocartography to get here where I am right now in Paros, Greece, and how I use these powerful tools in my day-to-day life. So I've restarted my podcast in June, but I had been thinking about that and preparing about that for a couple of months. So I left like my podcast back in November, where I was working in Orlando, Florida at Walt Disney World in an Italian restaurant. And I felt like really overwhelmed. The work was very demanding. The holiday season was about to start. So I said to myself, okay, I'm getting clear on what I want, but I need to take a step back to be able to really feel everything that was happening and coming like back from coming back from a more grounded place. So I did so. And also, if you know, I follow a lot the progress moon, which is the evolution of your emotional realm. You have your moon in your birth chart, which is your how you express your emotions, how you like feel at home, grounded, and what you need as well. That never changes. Your birth chart, it's your astrological DNA, never changes. However, every like 2.5 years, your moon, your progress moon, changes into different chapters, and different chapters brings different energies. And I have a little podcast about that I did in my previous like podcast with one of my astrologers, favorite astrologer and astrocartographer. So I link that in the show notes. But so to make you understand a little bit, at that time I was in my progress moon in Aquarius, which is all about breaking free from old patterns, old beliefs, and really coming back to your most authentic self. And November, December last year was my last chapter. So it was really a wrapping up of all these lessons that have been coming up and things that have been coming up for the past 2.5 years. And so I was like, I need to take a step back and reflect on all of that. And then at the beginning of 2025, my progress moon shifted into Pisces. And because I follow that so much, it's such a beautiful compass for me. I decided, okay, how can I like let go of that part of myself, the chapter of my progress moon in Aquarius, and really step in deeper into my progress moon in Pisces. And that's when I took a trip to Mexico. I stayed not in Cancun area. I stayed a little bit like not far, but a little bit in a more local area that it's called Puerto Juarez, I think. It's near where you take the ferry to go to Isla Mujeres. And I really went there by myself, even if people said, "Are you crazy? You're going to Mexico alone as a woman?" I found this Airbnb that was like on the coast, but not like in the midst of all the hotel madness of Cancun. And I went there, and it was a really nice trip to connect back to myself and to really honor my like progress moon and terrain in Pisces, which is a completely different phase from Aquarius. Aquarius, it's more extroverted, more out there, breaking free. Pisces, it's coming back home to yourself. It's a more intuitive, a more like feminine introvert phase. And I felt that I like the last 3 months working at Disney during my progress moon in Pisces and with like all the burnout and all of that were like very intense for me. And I had to really like take some step backs and take good care of myself because so many like health issues were coming up. And so like that trip was really healing for me. But when I came back from that trip, I felt sick. I think my body needed to purge that old version, that old chapter. And then, like the next 3 months there were like just getting by at work. Just I knew I had to do it. I had to finish the program, like for my personal goal, also because I didn't have clarity of what I want to do next. So, as a reflector, I don't know if you follow human design, I'm a reflector. So, for me, making decision, it's important to follow. So, the moon, a moon cycle, and not make impulsive decision, which sometimes my Sagittarius moon wants to. So, I was like, okay, I'm not clear. And when you are not clear, on what you want to do, that's not the moment to make decision because you will make decision out of like scarcity, out of fear, and not in alignment with who you are. When you are not clear, when you have just so much doubt and confusion, this is the moment to stop and to really go inward, feel all the feelings, and just like be in the in-between phase that sometimes we just want to go from one to the other without really giving ourselves some time to integrate, to rest, to reflect. So those first 3 months and even like April and May were months for me to reflect, rest, because I left the US and Disney when I completed my program at the beginning of April. And I decided I want to take 2 months where I just rest, where I don't travel. And I just stay in Italy. I connect back with my family. I connect back to myself. I need to work on relaunching my business. And also, like, I was not clear on what I wanted to do in the summer. I knew I wanted to travel a little bit. I knew I didn't want to go to stay in Italy. I knew I wanted to go back to the sea, which is like my happy place, but I was not clear on the next steps. So I tried to walk my talk, so to speak, and really, okay, Luana, okay, you're not clear, you don't have to make a decision. I follow astrology, and I knew that until mid-April there were the eclipse season and Mercury retrograde, and these are timing not the best to make a decision, but the best timing to go inward and reflect. So that's what I did. I went inward, I reflected. And then, like my 33rd birthday came in like almost the end of April. I celebrate my birthday on the 21st of April. I'm like first day of Taurus. Normally, like it's 1 degree, my sun in Taurus came, and it was like a full week of like my nephew's birthday is also on the same week as me. We had my niece baptism, so it was like a week of family and the celebration and all of that. And once like the water like calm down a little bit, I was like, okay, I have this calling towards grace that I had been like putting aside for a while. In 2023, I came to Greece for a month. I was in Crete, and that month was like not the best month. It was after my uncle passed away. So it was a month of grieving, but I knew that I wanted to see Greece in a different way, connect more with like the local Greece, not so much like the tourist part. And then I knew like I had this feeling, okay, I want to live a European summer, maybe go to Mallorca, maybe go to France, but I didn't have the clarity. And again, when you don't have the clarity, maybe you need to take a step back. So I was like, okay, I know astrocartography. I know the lines I have in certain places in Europe, and I can read my own chart. I'm an astrocartographer. However, sometimes when you're not in the clarity, and even if you know all these tools, maybe you need to ask for help to other people. In fact, I always have, even if I'm an astrologer and an astrocartographer, readings from other people, because everybody has a different perspective, a different way of sharing their gifts in astrology and astrocartography, and as a coach and whatever. Like everybody has their own unique way. And I knew that I needed a like out of my mind perspective in a way that a big picture perspective, not like something that I like could read for myself. So that's when I reached out to a friend, the girl that I mentioned before that I did the episode on the progress moon and astrocartography as well. We did an episode on that. I will link both of them in the show notes for you. I was like, I love her. She's a Sag moon like me. We really connected. We are both travelers and we both like use astrocartography as a compass. And I know she in the past year she had really gone deeper into astrocartography, studying things that are at another level that um, I still haven't gone that far. And was like, let's jump on a call. I felt like really like connected to do that and to support her, but also to get this perspective. And so we had a reading together. And at that point, I was still like, I didn't book anything. It was probably, I think, end of April, I would say, end of April, probably, that I was like, okay, I'm ready to come up and make a decision at the beginning of May. But I want like some direction, and I truly trust in the universe bringing me the people, the signs when I need to receive it. And I was open to receive them. I think it was after also a new moon or something like that that we had at the end of April. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to receive universe, like whatever. I'm here to listen. And that's when I had a reading with her. And I discovered like that even in Grace, I don't have any lines. I have some parents, which are like as I explained in another video, the longitude and latitude lines when two lines cross and they make some aspects. So it's a deeper like study of astrocartography. And it came out that near this area of Greece where I am, Ios, Naxos, Paros, these island of these cyclades, I think they're called, I had some energy, some Neptune energy. And Neptune, it's a planet of dreams and spirituality. And I'm in my progress moon in Pisces, which is all like ruled by Neptune. And I knew that once I feared Neptune lines because I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be like a lot of feelings and a lot of like things that maybe are overwhelming for a deeply earthy person as me. But last year I went to Puerto Rico on a Neptune line and I healed like myself. I was going through a breakup at the time and it was really healing and also nurturing for me. So I knew that Neptune like energy doesn't have to be scary for me that I'm a Earth like Virgo rising, Taurus sun. I have a grand trine in Earth. So Earth, it's my strongest hell element in my birth chart. So the opposite of like Earth signs, like the opposite of Virgo, it's Pisces. So this is really like a completely different world to me that I'm starting to get into. And my friend in a call, she's a Pisces. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we had a call, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, Luana, you are really like Pisces right now." And I'm in Virgo energy. So we kind of shifted. And also mind that we are in the Virgo Pisces axis in the eclipse. So in April, we have the first set of eclipse. We will have them eclipses. We'll have them in September. So we are in this like energy of Virgo, like structure, and Pisces, like going more with the flow and following your intuition. And actually, with this set of eclipse, we are called to move more into the Pisces, like a Piscean energy of really like follow your intuition, go with the flow, don't go out of fear, but really connect with yourself, with your guides, with something bigger than yourself. So when she was talking about the lines, the parents that I had here, something right clicked in me. And I was like, oh my goodness, like no wonder that I'm attracted to grace and my soul is calling me there, because I'm called to have like a kind of a spiritual retreat. When you go on a Neptune sunlight at Paran, it's like your ego dissolves and you are brought into like a like spiritual retreat. And I knew that I wanted a place where I could be more local, not in the party area. I really needed that retreat with myself. Uh, and that's what this month have been. So I'm not going into that just yet, but like when she talked about this, and then she talked about other places that I'm connected to, but I'm not going to tell you for the purpose of this episode. But I was like, okay, what this area of grace is calling me, and I'm still a Virgo rising, so I had to do some research and like see the pros and cons of the different islands. And I was looking at Eos, Paros, Naxos, like the area in this area. I knew that I would avoid Santorini and Mykonos because they are the most like touristic ones, and in the summer there are so many people going there, so I didn't want that like energy of chaos. But I wanted a more like swift and soft energy. And then I came in contact with Paros. Something was calling me here in this island that I never heard of. I was looking at the Airbnb and I was not getting any response because I was looking at the northern part of the island when there is more like a spiritual community. It's the more like, let's say, lively part of the island. And then I was looking at the part where there is the port area, like the capital city of the island. And as well, I didn't have any response. And then I decided, okay, let's put like my Airbnb search to the full island. And I found this place here in the south of the island and was like, okay, that's not what I was like looking for in terms of I wanted to connect spiritually with other people, maybe having like big supermarkets and all of that, but I trust. And in 2 hours, the host here replied to me and they give me even a discount on the price. They told me like I read the reviews and they were all amazing. Um, and I was like, okay, thank you so much. I'm gonna take a couple of days to think about it as I try to do like to come to an aligned decision. And let me know like in the comments on YouTube or on Spotify, or send me an email if you would like an episode where I use astrology to make decision. I really told you a little bit here, but really a focused episode on that. I would love to know if you would like one of those. And after 2 days, I decided, okay, it feels good. I connected to my body. I felt like a yes in my body. And I was like, you know what? I say yes to these people. I booked a one-way ticket to Paros, and here I came. And since the day I came, everything has been like just something else. Some words that are coming up. It's magical, intense in a way, feeling wise, but also like deeply connect. And Paros like really was a portal to come back home to myself. So I'm deeply grateful to like my guides, everybody that um, helped me to come the decision to come here. It's Wednesday and I will leave in 4 days. But yeah, it's been such a magical place. Like the first week, it really felt like a movie, because that's what I've dreamed for so long. Like last summer when I was working in Florida and I was feeling like disconnected, I was like, I wish I could like have my European summer. By the way, like living in a lot of different places, there's no like such a like there's nothing comparable to European summer. And I think that even in the future, maybe I will live in different places, but the summer will be here in Southern Europe. This is just something magical about it. But yeah, that's another story for another day. But yeah, the first week was really like a lot of like rewards in a way because I made this aligned decision and the universe was like, okay, now you're living in a movie. I have this like apartment that I rented like 5 minutes from the sea and I went there every day and the like little beach that it's nearby, it's like so untamed. There's no like umbrellas and all of that. It's still like it's a little bit in one part it's a rocky beach. There's a lot of rocks. The other part it's more sandy, but it's still untamed. And I was like, this is so beautiful. I like connected with little like bakeries and places because I think food is a way you connect to the people as well. And I found a little bakery. I found like a little place where I could go and get like some amazing like pastries and all of that. And my host, he's been like a grandpa to me in this journey, was keeping bringing me food and products from the island. So I really felt, wow, like I came here, I'm living my life 5 minutes from the beach, and I'm doing the work that I'm meant to do, like doing astrology, relaunch my business, and feeling the just the inspiration to create a lot of content and all of that. And I was like, that's just so magical, and I feel just like I'm exactly where I'm meant to be and living the life that I'm meant to live. And the first week was like in that way, was just like, yes, so magical. And then obviously like the magic still stood, but it was like a lot of feelings were coming to the surface, a lot of realization of old patterns that needed to be cleared and be like and break free from those. So it's been really a lot of connecting to my body and riding the waves of my emotion. And I've always heard these terms and I've always preached this term, but it was not until like last week where I felt it deeply in my bones that I came to like the realization that I really understood what it means to ride the waves of your emotion. Because one day I was riding in front of the beach and I had this grief coming in and I had to go and I started walking like nonstop. Then I came back to the apartment and I felt like I needed to dance. I put on some like sad songs that reconnected me to like my uncle and my family. And I cried and I screamed. And then I felt like, okay, I want some more inspirational songs. And I danced. And then I came to a sense of peace. And I was like, this is what it means to ride through the waves of your emotion, like really allowing the emotion in your body, because emotion are just energy in motion. They really actually stay in your body for only 90 seconds. And if you really feel into them, then you let them go and come back to that. This sense of home that I always preach is nothing. It's like coming back to stillness and to the realization that you are home. That's like the most powerful and beautiful feeling that you can have because it's just a sense of stillness, a sense of peace. And I reached these feelings many times since I've been here. I really had many realization of things that came up that I shared on my social media. I cannot share them all here today because again, that otherwise will be a like 3 hours episode. But even like the parents of my family and really saying, this is the end. This is where this generational pattern ends. And I'm gonna step away from that. I'm gonna be thankful for what this taught me, but I'm ready to live my life in a different way from my family. There's like, that's like this inspiration, but with that, and the joy to live the life that I want, but with that also come grief and sadness for that version of myself, for many version of myself. So it's been really beautiful to see the two sides of the spectrum. Like really, there's no joy with grief and vice versa. And there's no peace without chaos as well. Like, in the world right now, there's so much chaos. And sometimes I felt that burden of, okay, but I'm here living my life and people are suffering. And I should do more. I should like help people and all of that. But um, in a way that I came to the realization that I cannot help people but by being in fear and do things from a fear like mindset. But what I can do to help people is really come back home to myself first and foremost, to be grounded, to feel that sense of peace within me so that I can like inspire people to do the same and help them with my tools, with my own dharma, which is my sole purpose, that with my astrology readings and all of that. But I can only help people if first I come back to that version of myself, that it's grounded, that it's peaceful, that it's home. We cannot help other people if we don't have our cup full. And this is such a cliche, but it's so true. Like, it's the analogy of the plane that put your mask on first, fill your own cup first. This is so crucial, so important. And if you take like a message from this Uranus in Gemini that it's in right now, it's really to come back home to yourself, to really tend to your own inner world first, so that you can be the change you want to be in the world. But you can only be the change you want to be in the world when you are in a state of peace, love, authenticity as well. When you are doing what you're meant to do, when you're living your dharma, that's when you are helping raising the vibration of the planet. Not by staying in the job that you hate, not by staying in the relationship that you know has reached the expiration date, not by like bypassing your feelings, but just coming back home to you, to living the life that you're meant to live. That's when you can help other people in this world. Oh, that was a mouthful. But yeah, these are all the realization that I've had here. And I started to write a book because one thing that I took from this, like progress moon in Pisces, but also being on a Neptune line and really dissolving the ego, it's that I'm channeling so many messages. I haven't been like writing like this crazy in many months and years also. Like I just feel an inspiration. I have so many messages coming in that I have to anchor them down with posts, with like talking here, with a book that I'm writing. So it's really been magical. So all of that to say that there's nothing to fear on a Neptune line. Actually, it's powerful, but also like there's no astrocartography with astrology. They, like your astrocartography map, it's based on your birth chart. And one thing that I cannot recommend enough if you are learning both these tools is to start with astrology, like your base and your progress moon. I cannot stress it enough because that I always use it in my astrocartography readings as well, because that tells me, okay, you are in this chapter. So maybe you are in a chapter of healing, and maybe what you really need is to go on a Chiron line, which is one line for healing. Maybe you're on an Aries chapter and you need to go on that Mars line to get things moving. So these two go hand in hand. And when you use these tools, like leverage on these tools, like you start to see that you live in alignment who you are right now, the version that you are in this moment, and you come back home to yourself. So for me, it's really important to show, to be an embodiment of this work that I guide people to do, but first I guide myself to do. So I'm a testament to these tools. I'm an example that when you use astrology and astrocartography as your compass, you really come back home to yourself and create the life that you truly desire. I think that completes the episode. I hope this like gets you out, like you got something out of it. Please comment on YouTube, comment on Spotify, send me an email at theastrowanderer@gmail.com or on Instagram at theastrowanderer. I would like to hear from you, your experiences, your what resonates from this episode, and like really create this community that we are all like longing for. So here I am. I wish you all a beautiful rest of your day wherever you are in the world. And until next time, peace and love. Ciao.